The character you play, Jack, is a very passionate man about racing, and I think you are required to express your emotions like spontaneously while you're watching the races. You yell or get frustrated or get excited, and it was really fun to see them. But can you perform these emotional expressions in like 1 second, or did you have emotional preparation?
Yeah, I mean, you're always sort of preparing as you work. It was an interesting shoot though, because a lot of what you see, there'll be times when we're doing it all together, like the race cars are coming into the pit and we're there and we're shooting it all and they're going off. And then there were some other sequences where it's just me with a headset at a computer, nothing else is going on. It's just me and Neil, the director, talking me through it, saying, all right, they're coming around they're coming up into the Mulsanne Strait and talk them through. And so I'll be there on the radio talking them through some of these sequences where there'll be just tons of people and cars and it's all happening in real time. And so your emotions are happening in real time with people. And then there were other times where it was just me and the director. So I had to do a lot more preparation to know where he was and how he was responding. So it would change based on what we were shooting.
Wow, so did you see the real car race up close?
Yeah, it was crazy. We shot on a real racing tracks. A lot of it was in Budapest. There's a huge racetrack in Budapest. And every day when we were shooting, even when we were in the pits, there'd be like 5 cars going, 180, 200 miles an hour around this track as we were shooting. Because Neil liked to feel that in the background in case a camera caught one of them going by. So the whole production was almost like this massive event that all day long we would show up and it was like we were just in a race. Cars would come in and pit as we were doing scenes and they would change tires and gas them up and they'd go out on the road again. So everyone was aware. It was almost like you were in the middle of a sporting event as opposed to shooting a structured movie. And it gave the film a kind of intensity and a kind of present quality that I think is there as a result of that. I mean, we all were a bit on edge because there's these machines going, hundreds of miles an hour. It was really kind of wild.
And what I think is great about this movie is that I think this is the very first movie that truly celebrates the gaming culture. I think that has been always underrated and sometimes it is considered bad things. I mean, even my parents used to say, stop playing the game and do your homework. But this movie shows that if you are passionate about something, no matter what it is, it could change your life. So what are your thoughts on why this film must celebrate the gaming culture?
Yeah, I mean, I have had myself a same complicated relationship with gaming because I love video games as well. And I grew up in the same sort of world where it was like, stop playing games, do your homework. And I have a little bit of that guilt as well. But when I watch, I used to watch a lot of esports back in the day at the height of StarCraft 2. I used to watch a lot of that RTS games, these incredible players like Scarlet, Hero Machine, and all these players, and they had APM of like 400, some of them, which is incredible when you think about the finger speed, the reaction time, the reflexes. It's almost like a concert pianist. I mean, these guys are real masters of what they do, and so I think that deserves tremendous respect. And you're right, there is sort of a feeling that as gamers, we're kind of geeks or nerds or whatever, looked down upon, but there is tremendous skill and tremendous talent for some of these people, what they do. And so I think that deserves a lot of respect. I have respect.
And in the racing sequences, the actors and the stunt doubles are actually driving racing cars, and we can feel the real G. I think it has some kind of similarities to Top Gun Maverick, and like this movie are carefully designed to see in cinema experience. So what is the reason that the audience should watch this movie with bigger screen and better audio?
Yeah, I mean, I think that when we were shooting it, I felt that it was a big screen movie because you have all these cars going high speed and you have drone cameras, running in front of them at like 160 miles an hour. I mean, we crashed a ton of drones. It's got a real big quality and feel to it. And so that is meant to be like Top Gun Maverick. It's meant to be seen in a theater. But the other thing is, I feel like it's a real euphoric, feel-good sports movie. And I think that when you go into a room with a bunch of strangers, it's one of those movies where you'll laugh together, you might cry together. And I do think that you'll spontaneously cheer together. At least that was in the screening I went to. There was a couple other people in that screening who I didn't even know. And there are moments in the film when you all sit there and you all go, yes, yes. And that's a really fun experience to have with a group of strangers that you don't get when you're just alone on your couch. And you all sit and like giggle with each other. Like, I can't believe we were so, invested that we all cheered. But I really like that communal experience. And I think this film has a lot of those moments that you can share with people.
And this story is also about the underdog. And I always enjoy that your character proves himself in difficult situations like Stranger Things and Black Widow. What are you attracted by these stories?
I mean, I think for most of my life, I've felt, like a bit of a weirdo or like an outcast or someone who people didn't understand or I wasn't understood. I felt that way a lot in my life. I think it's a common feeling for a lot of us. And it's nice when people like that succeed or are understood. It's always been my goal through art to make people feel more understood and more a part of the world when they feel outcast in that way. And I think the underdog story is a version of that same story.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.